Well, welcome to this July 3rd meeting of the Tree Advisory Commission. We'll go through and welcome and do some introductions. I'm Heather Haker-Hammer, the chair at the moment.
Wayne Shopper.
William Swanson, advisory member.
Floyd Alban.
And Tom Schmitz, an advisory member from the Park and Recreation Department.
Thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the July 3rd agenda? Or does anything need to be added to new business? Anybody have any new business to add? I have scheduled a meeting for us. I don't know if that needs to go in for July 24th with Mr. Gromitz. Does that need to be a new business to be voted upon, or?
Chair, I don't think you need to vote upon it as
Okay.
long as the commission's in agreement.
Okay. Okay, then can I get a motion to approve the July 3rd agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does everybody have time already to review the meeting minutes from May 1st? If so, could I get a motion to approve the May 1st minutes?
I so move.
Thank you.
Second.
Second?
Excuse me, Madam Chair, a small point of discussion. After the minutes were sent out, we became aware of 4 grammatical errors. And so those grammatical errors will be corrected, spelling and grammatical errors will be corrected for the record. But I don't think you need me to go through those 4 minor items right now.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor to approve with the minor spelling changes?
We approve that.
Approve that? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Second.
Moving on to old business, the tree reimbursement program update. Mr. Kaler is not present, but we do have the budget in front of us. Does anybody have anything to add to it?
Madam Chair and members, I'll just hit some of the highlights. As you can see from the report, there's been, 4 trees planted and some reimbursement costs. You can see those totals. And then on the far right column, you've got some of these larger categories. The home show rental of $280 has been paid. The April PUC utility billing insert printing expense was $765. And then further down, you see the $6,100 in past carryover that was earmarked for Park and Boulevard tree planting project. And that money has been encumbered along with some additional funds directly from the Park and Recreation Department. So that's shown in the budget, bringing kind of it appears an unused amount there of a little over $5,600.
Okay, thank you. I think we covered the budget update as well with that. And then we can move on to the PUC update. Mr. Swanson?
All right. Thank you, commissioners. So far this year, the relief program has spent about $400 in rebates given out to customers for a variety of trees. Had some shade and some windbreak trees submitted so far this year. 8 rebates, and that was through about 4 rebates was for that $400 spent. 8 rebates are approved, just waiting for the receipts to come back. And then I have another 5 rebates that still need to be inspected for final approval. And that was what I have for a summary. Are there any questions about the public utilities portion of the shade tree and windbreak program?
I don't think so. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
The buckthorn removal volunteer program update. Mr. Schmitz?
Yes, Madam Chair and Commissioners. The program continues as it has for quite some time with Ellen Van Cura leading the charge. The big news of recent occurrence is the fact that we've got an intern student from the college up at Vermillion, a natural resource studies intern student by the name of Nathan Brusky. And he's going to be committing, I think it's actually a month full-time, so that's 160 hours of volunteer buckthorn removal this summer, so that he can complete his internship up there at the college. And so he's working closely with the leader, Ellen Van Cura. I know, I saw him yesterday, I checked on him. He's doing a lot of removal on the bike trail, the recreational trail, specifically just north of 12th South, basically between 12th and 11th South on the bike trail. And also some work had been completed at South Park a week or two ago by him. And we're just continuing to go full speed ahead. There is also some good news from Ellen. She was unable to attend, but there's been a grant award. I think it's a $1,200 grant award through Alina and the community health programs to assist with buckthorn removal in kind of an environmental exercise way. And so she's fine-tuning the details, but it's going to be a team competition where there's going to be a number of different volunteer teams registering, and the goal is going to be attacking the female buried plants, and then there's going to be the number of stems counted, and whichever group collects the most female trees is going to win actually a cash award as part of her program. So more details will be coming out on that in the next month or two. I think it's going to be kicking off probably around Labor Day, and it'll be an autumn community competition. So that's some information from the buckthorn programs.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions? We'll move on to the utility bill stuffer mailing flyer. Mr. Swanson?
All right. Well, I have very little for updates. I believe that, as far as if we do proceed with printing and sending out a secondary stuffer, it would have to be into the City Hall office before August 7th, so they have time to get it prepared and then stuffed. And then that's really my only current update. I'm looking forward to seeing a draft if there's any progress there.
Yeah.
So.
There actually is.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
Chair and Commissioners, Floyd and I met, a month ago or whenever it was, and we put together some comments. I think Floyd's got a copy already, I think. Very, very rough draft, and Floyd and I just met previous to the meeting, and we scratched that top part, invasive species alert, and we put the verbiage, let's keep removing it with an exclamation mark. What I thought I would do is take this back to my computer, make those changes, and then Floyd's idea was to take out that bottom paragraph there for buckthorn control options. And I agree with him 100%. It seems kind of impersonal. So we thought, we'll help with an exclamation mark, or questions with a question mark. Call Ellen Van Cura at 354-8744. So I thought I could send a rough draft around like that. Or any comments, or do you like what's on here, or add, subtract? I think the goal was one page, am I correct?
Yeah,
Kind
that
of
was our
simple-
point.
Simple reading?
The last flyer that was sent out, it seems so much writing on it, you wonder if people are really going to read it. And this was real simple and to the point, one page, and making it very personal, because I talked to Ellen if we could use her name and phone number. Oh, she'd be delighted for that. So that's why we added her name on the bottom, making it really personal.
That's all I've got. I mean,
Yeah.
Comments? Ms.
When would this be going out, Bill?
August.
Yep, and with the August billing, and
August billing.
that occurs over several periods with our
Yeah.
billing
August.
sections. But the first ones would be going out probably on the 10th from, that's why we'd have to get it in by the 7th. So that'd be the first section, and then
Okay.
subsequent ones after that.
Okay. And then, Wayne, would you then redo that?
Yes, of course.
Okay, give that to Bill, and then they'd be all set to go.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna reach one goal of being inexpensive.
Yeah.
It should be more than,
Yeah, we don't need color.
or let's hear feedback, any,
Madam Chair and Commissioners, I'll just pass out what we did in April. I know you've all seen that and
Yeah.
have a copy of it also in the computers. I do recommend that we not go with color ink, as we've discussed. And buckthorn is a very appropriate topic. The only suggestion I might have is, to take full advantage of a single piece of paper and the opportunity at no additional cost or minor additional cost would be to consider putting something on the backside.
of course.
Would be my staff suggestion, even if it's simple. Anything applicable to the autumn season, whether that's autumn planting or pruning or winter prep, whatever you commissioners may recommend. I like the large font. I like keeping it simple, but I might recommend utilizing both sides of the piece of paper.
I agree. I think that's a good idea. The autumn pruning or planting would be,
Okay.
maybe we have something historical that we can even pull from for that, possibly. Just to take some notes off of.
I can come up with some ideas and forward it to the group. if
Sure.
That, or Floyd and I can hash on this a little bit more, but we've got a few weeks here, but we need to get on it.
Sure.
Okay.
Another aspect is the printing. I'd be more than happy to manage the printing process again unless someone else desires that. And so I would need to have a digital piece by, preferably before the end of July. In the next 2.5 weeks would be great to have this thing wrapped up so we don't run into a printing timeline crunch. And it could be that Commissioner Sparlin and Commissioner Tranel have some thoughts and ideas also. Maybe a short, brief synopsis of the reimbursement programs that the city and PUC offer also. So get your draft updated, and then I would suggest email it to the group, to all of
Do that.
us, and we can all
Get
chime in and
changes.
get
Sure.
a finished product.
I can do that this weekend, and one more comment, as far as verbiage on the back, or should we talk a little bit about the weed wrenches or something like that, or is that kind of boring, or is it pertinent?
I think it's very pertinent. We
Okay.
still have a significant quantity of weed wrenches available for loan, free borrowing, just like you check out the library book at the recreation center. The weed wrenches are available, you bet.
That's a good idea.
Can I have this copy?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll put together some stuff, forward it to the group, then we'll get a hard copy front and back to you within a week or so. Otherwise, time flies and
Yes,
The
that'd
thought
be
is-
great. And on the reverse side of that, Commissioner Shopper, you see some of those, the reimbursement programs. We could maybe reduce them to one sentence per program.
Okay.
Keep it real simple.
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work on that. Next item is the big tree contest. Commissioner Alwyn and Commissioner Shopper worked on that.
We had 2 entries, only one eligible, so naturally that person won them. The other entry had too many big branches coming off too low, so it wouldn't be eligible to fit into the 4.5-foot single stem.
Sure. And where was the largest
And
tree?
The winner would be Vilma Shevlik. for 1514 North State Street. Was it 102 inches? Oh yeah, there it is.
You could pass this,
102 inches.
pass those around, Floyd, if you'd like to. I'd like to get those back, but those were the two entrants.
Oh yeah, that's the two entries we had and the one ineligible one.
Mm-hmm.
He meant well, and he did have a nice big basswood or linden, but it had too many big stems coming off about 3.5, 4 feet.
Sure.
Well, Commissioners, Madam Chair, what had happened was the main spire of the tree had died, and then these branches came out, and so when you measured this far off the ground, it was 10 inches?
Yeah, it was
Or something
more.
like that.
Yeah.
But it was not a typical tree, so I think with, there was no contest really, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure Charles will understand here, but anyway. Okay, you wanna see those two?
Yes, thank you.
So how do we go about officially letting her know that she's the winner?
Madam Chair and Commissioners, what normally happens is our Park and Rec office will prepare a letter, and then we'll get it to the chair for signature, and both letters will reply to both the two applicants, and get those letters out. And then the winner works with the engineering department to actually get the ball rolling on the planting, and once the planting is complete and paid for, a receipt is submitted by the property owner to the engineering office, and then a reimbursement check would be issued. So I will, in the next week or so, get that to the chair.
Very good.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Shopper and Commissioner Alwyn, for measuring those trees and being involved with the program.
We were hoping we had more. Which brings up a point. And that is, with a tree as common as the linden or basswood, that we thought too we should have had more entries. Have we reached the point of no return with not getting more entries? Has this thing run its course?
It could have, I think, possibly. I guess it would come, what we decide on for next year would be,
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is the 5th year.
yep.
Oak, maple, hackberry, elm, linden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what was disappointing, being that the
Right.
linden is such a common tree. You would think more people would have responded.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to call it quits with the big tree contest, or give it one more shot with possibly, ash, locust, soft maple, or weeping willow?
May I ask, what have we had for entrants in the past? Have we had just a handful, or is it,
Madam Chair and Commissioners, you have in your computer here information about the past years. It's varied from 2 or 3 entrants to as many as 10 or 12. As far as I recall, there were, it's varied. This would be the 7th year next year. We've had 6. Ash was the first year in '09, and then it went oak, maple, hackberry, elm, and linden. We've had those 6 species since.
Which one had the most entries?
I don't have that information at my fingertips. I have it in the file back at the office. Looks like we had 6 last year for elm.
Well, maybe it's something to consider, maybe when the whole quorum would be here to talk about that further, whether they want to with just 3 of us here today, maybe if we had all 5 of us, we could
Yeah.
talk further on that next time.
Is it a
hopefully.
question of publicity? Do people even know it exists? You know, we get the information out there, but
Yeah,
people are proud of their trees, I know they are.
Yeah, I definitely.
For 2011, the species of maple, there were 3 entrants. Um, So maybe it's give it a month of thought and try to move towards a decision or 2 months at our next meeting.
I think so.
You know, we did change it, the deadline from spring to summer so that we had foliage on the trees. I think that was a smart move by the commission. But maybe that one change of the norm, moving it back into the early summer season. So I would say, think about it and let's work towards a decision in the next meeting or
Yes.
2 at the latest.
Sure.
And just to add a comment, I thought we did probably the best job of any this year as far as getting the advertising out for it in an early manner. I don't know. Park and Rec in the past has done more advertising for it on their own, or
Well, things we've done, I know it goes into the brochure, the Park and Rec brochure. It's promoted heavily at the home show. It was in a PUC utility billing insert. It was in the newspaper. So we did a fair amount of advertising, but, you know, there's probably a few more things that could be attempted with that next year.
It's a
And we-
nice prize, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We can move on to the Home Show 2015. Anybody have any thoughts on that? I think it's great publicity for our board. You know, one of the few ways to really get out there in front of the most people, and it's fairly economical for the cost and how many people you reach.
I agree.
Do we need to vote on that today?
I don't think so.
yeah, I think you could maybe postpone until we do have
Sure.
a
Full
full
commission.
Sure.
commission.
Okay.
EAB planning discussion, forester position, tree survey. Those things might go hand in hand. I have set up a meeting. It's Thursday, July 24th at 4 p.m. with city manager here, city council chambers. I'd sent out a doodle poll a while ago, and when it came down to it, I did not know that we needed to give public notice of 72 hours, so we had to cancel that meeting because we didn't have that notice. So, who posts the 72 hours? Who do I contact to handle that?
Madam Chair and Commissioners, the Park and Rec office can take care of that. We'll let the media know about it, and all the people on our tree commission list. So I will make sure that goes out next week.
Okay. And this would just be our initial discussion. We're calling it a work session. With city manager and our board and any advisors that can attend as well, just to get the ball rolling from what we had previously talked about for that forester position. Anybody have any other questions on that topic? Is there any other new business? Anything else we need to talk about? Otherwise, next meeting, September 4th at 4 PM. But, you know, hopefully that July 24th date can work for everybody. I think it'd be good to have the majority of people present if
Right.
possible.
You said 4 PM, right?
4 PM
Yep,
here,
yeah, right.
yes.
Yeah, I think
Yep. I decided to stick with Thursdays and the 4 o'clock, and I think, you know, it'll be a good meeting to get started. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I also move that we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned.